It's happened before, and it will happen again. There's always some description of person, family, group, lusting after power, control, and dominance that has total contempt for any form of freedom or independence. And it's all just a little bit of history repeating, ladies and gentlemen. Fear not, for this is nothing new. Man has always had the capacity to destroy himself. It's just that now he has the technology to finish the job. You listen to the Vinny Eastwood Show on AmericanFreedomRadio.com, out in AM FM stations all across the fabulous USSA, and my very special guests, filmmakers from Culling, Chris Maple and Paul Wittenberger. We're in the middle of what I like to call the everything crisis. Okay, we're talking about the food crisis, the medical crisis, the oil crisis, economic crisis, nuclear crisis, the stupidity crisis, of course. One of the most prominent, and the other thing is that we're entering into some form of political crisis. In these times of great turmoil, what are you guys actually planning to do in terms of just survival?
One, we bought a bunch of glass water jugs, and it's crazy the levels of fluoride that we're getting in these tests. And it's people just need to be so aware of what they put in their body, and that's what this film is going to expose is the toxic effects of heavy metals on our body, and how it affects us.
Yeah, I mean, and another point Paul mentioned was, he mentioned glass bottles, and it's very big. We have bisphenol A that's leaching into the foods. It's the canned goods as well. That's more contamination of BPA and just canned goods. So I guess in a sense, you kind of go back to the basics to be healthy. I have a cast iron skillet I cook everything on. No longer am I using aluminums or that sort of thing. I try to eat a healthy or organic diet as much as I can afford, because there are chemicals in everything. One of the bottled water companies that we looked into, because what we did in this film is we contacted every company, asked them exactly how much fluoride is in their end product. We got a completely a wide spectrum of answers as far as the levels, the parts per million. And a lot of people say, well, don't drink the tap water. The tap water is bad. Yes, it is. It is true. It is contaminated. The answer isn't bottled water, let me tell you that. The only way to remove the fluoride, because it is a toxin, is through distillation. And not all reverse osmosis systems work. The EPA standard is extremely high here, and it's 4 parts per million. Although the standard since 1962 is 0.7 to 1.2 parts per million in the water. The bottled water industry is nothing more than just filtered local water, wherever that manufacturer just so happens to be.
For those of you who are unaware of fluoride's toxicity, let's just put it into perspective. Mother's milk has 1/250th the amount of fluoride that municipal drinking water has at 1 part per million. They're trying to brain damage you. Okay? It's just that simple, ladies and gentlemen.
I've come to realize that just in the state of California alone, as far as where I'm from in Los Angeles, they didn't start fluoridating their water until 1999. So this isn't something, it's progressing. It's growing more here in America. And if you look into Europe, it's 98% fluoride free in Europe right now. So they're doing something right over there. Somebody's speaking out, or they're just educating themselves. We here in America, unfortunately, we're too focused on what's coming out of that screen, that television that people plug themselves into for 5-6 hours a day. And these topics are not going to come up. And if they do, it's a small little blip at that.
Small little blip that's totally white.
Oh, of course. And that's why, I commend you for what you're doing, and I always said this earlier, and not only you, but your audience for tuning in, because it is going to be up to us to seek out alternative media sources, because not too many people are going to discuss these issues, and just because they're not discussed doesn't mean they're not there and that it's not going on. And my hat's off to you, Vinny, seriously.
Oh, well, thank you. And the good thing about the show is it's very international. We even have a listener from Tunisia named Ahmed, who's just so... Of course he is. Of course he's named Ahmed, It's from Tunisia. What do you expect, man? And it's just great, because, hey, patriots are everywhere. People are waking up everywhere. There is no possibility that the New World Order can get away with their frickin' plans, because there is a global awakening that has already started, and nothing can stop an idea whose time has effing come. You can't win a war on 2 fronts, let alone a war on a frickin' billion fronts. These people are effed, and they know it. And they're panicking.
Yeah, absolutely right.
That makes them dangerous, though.
Yeah, like you said, it's the one thing that's not in their control are the number of us, the number of people, and that's why 1% of us just got off our tushes and started doing a little research and change your thought process and start. Consumerism is huge. If you demand fluoride-free bottled water, make a phone call. There's a phone number right on the side of the bottle. I mean, you could call them and put in a complaint. If enough people did this, you would see change overnight. Hit them in the wallet.
And also, the other part of it is we want to talk about your film, thegreatculling.org. Check it out on the web, ladies and gentlemen. And I'd like to thank you, Chris, and you, Paul, for coming on the show with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you to the audience for listening to us.
Yeah, Vinny, thanks. I really do appreciate you guys helping us spread this word. It's an important one that needs to be, people do need to know about it. Thank you again.